Hi, I'm Jennifer Johnson, and this is Pamela Sackett. She is the author of this amazing book, I Can, 12 Ways to Witness the Heart. So I'm looking, Pamela, at the sixth way on page 43, and I want to read this. And I'm a feeling person, like we all are. I kind of feel things more in my body, seems like. So this is a hard one for me to understand, and I need your help. It says, I can perceive the relationship between unknown feelings and emotional behavior by applying non-polarized feeling-inquisitive thinking. So can we break this down? Okay, so I can perceive the relationship between unknown feelings and emotional behavior, just that first part. Okay, so I can, what the book says, I can perceive. I think I'm there. Okay, so now we're in perceiving, and then we go to a relationship. And the relationship is between unknown feelings and emotional behavior. All right, so maybe I'm having an unknown feeling. I don't know what it is. And then I have emotional behavior. Those things are different.
Yep.
Okay. And
Yes.
so I get to have a relationship between them. How does that work?
Well, you already do have a relationship to it. So the last part about applying non-polarized feeling inquisitive thinking is that's the portal, that's the bridge. You look at how you think about how you think, and you see what that has to say about that relationship. And the premise is that feelings and emotions aren't the same. That feelings are a somatic experience. They happen in the body, they're non-verbal. And emotional behavior usually has some words in it. I mean, when you behave a certain way, you could, be angry and have steam coming out of your ears. But usually when someone's angry, there are words that go along with it. And it ties back to something going on in the body, the feelings. And the feelings are tied to all kinds of things, usually needs, memories, associations, and
So this
beliefs, values.
non-polarized thinking. Okay,
So
non-polarized.
non-polarized. Yeah, the non-polarized is if you say that behavior is bad and wrong, or that emotion is negative, then sometimes that closes the door on perceiving what other parts of the story there is there. So the perception is to look at language and see whether or not it opens up an exploration, whether or not it inspires your curiosity. When you say something's negative, usually that's like saying, goodbye, I don't want this anymore, stop, And all behavior has a story to tell. And usually the behavior itself doesn't do a great job to tell that story unless you aren't in a place of not knowing what's behind it. If you know the feelings that are prompting some kind of response or behavior, then you have some understanding. So the point here is to have more understanding. And if how you're thinking and your language, your polarized black and white, quick brain thinking is definitive and decisive in black and white, then are you going to be curious about what you don't know about that story?
So if I'm not polarizing, let's say I feel frustration, and there's frustration in my chest and my stomach and my arms, and I might feel like making a sound, and I just don't say it's good or bad. I don't tell myself that. So then I'm in this non-polarized place, and I'm kind of a place-based person here. So I'm applying this non-polarization, then I can see more clearly that there's a relationship between my behavior and my feeling.
Well, is there more to the frustration? I mean, you're going to think something. You could have frustration, but I know when I have frustration, there's something going on that has prompted me to have it. Something's happened. It's either something, something within myself, or, I'm frustrated because, I can't find something in the house, or I'm frustrated because something outside of my influence happened that frustrated me.
It's not working.
But, I mean, you could say, well, I'm frustrated. Is it something that's, you have it and you go through it and you experience it fully, and then it turns into something else, as often feelings do? Or is there some other story to discover about it? Is there disappointment? I know sometimes when I get frustrated, I'm actually disappointed about something. And my frustration is more of a deterrent from me experiencing that disappointment. Because usually at the base of disappointment, there's a certain vulnerability and lack of you don't have agency in a certain situation. You aren't able to take charge and make it be different.
So it's like we're calling on the curious mind that doesn't know or doesn't attach to good or bad, right or wrong, and asking, well, what else is here?
Yeah, it's the curiosity.
Disappointment, and then that's the feeling inquisitive thinking part.
Yeah, feeling inquisitive thinking, exactly. If you
so that's practice. We practice the feeling inquisitive thinking, right?
Yeah, we have to practice it.
Okay.
Because the opportunity will come up again.
Okay.
There'll be something else that will come up that might surprise you, might surprise yourself, and something that goes on, because there's always stuff going on. I mean, even in your dreams,
Well, this makes so much more sense. I can perceive the relationship between unknown feelings and emotional behavior by applying non-polarized feeling inquisitive thinking.
Yeah, it's dense. It's a
power-packed, this is like a protein bar kind of a statement right here. Yeah, and this is what you'll find in our upcoming workshop.
Yeah, and we also, I think it's important to say that would be significant for somebody to explore if they want a deeper understanding. If that's something that they consider to be a kind of a nourishing food, they want a deeper understanding, not necessarily so they can, control anything, but just having a deeper understanding. Because sometimes when you have a deeper understanding, control isn't really as relevant, especially since many things are outside of our control. So this is, to aim for understanding, I think is totally doable. I really think that
that's a huge expansion for us when we understand something.
Yeah, and we can do that. We can always do that, have a deeper understanding. And even though there are things about it, there are a lot of things we might understand that we can't change. We can change some things, and some things we can't. For me, I know deeper understanding really assists, especially when it's something you have no say over, like things going on in the world or in your own home or in your own body.
Well, when I understand something, it just sort of like the bottom drops out of whatever I was upset thinking I had to change. And there's like a natural kind of a letting go. It's like I get to experience a more expanded way of being. And I suddenly feel also closer to whoever I'm interacting with.
And I love that you said a natural letting go.
Yeah,
because
not a telling myself to let go.
Exactly. And there's a big difference there.
Huge.
There's a lot of command language around, oh, let go, let go. These things, they stay connected until there is that understanding, and then things do move, and it is a very organic process that we don't have to do anything but be more open and more curious, and all kinds of stuff comes to you when you are. All kinds of stuff.
Well, I know we have to end here, but
Yeah.
this is inspiring me to share what you just what I was just sensing from you, which may just be a mirror I'm projecting onto you. There's this friendliness, there's this basic assumption that people have an open and loving heart, that there's not that we're not, trying to cause harm to ourselves or each other
No.
with our language or our reactivity or our behaviors. And there's this, it feels like a presumed innocence of humanity here. And that's a very generous way of being.
Mm. Well, it feels really good to understand and to want to understand instead of deciding things about yourself or other people. And I think people do at their core, they do want to connect, and they do want to be open. And when people aren't, it's because usually they have reasons to want to close things down for protection. And, it seems counterintuitive to be open if you've been hurt.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I think that's a more likely avenue for healing and having change in your life, is when you are more open and more curious. And that's something we all know so well because we come in with that. And we learn gradually over time to subdue that and to, constrict it. But
Yeah.
it is a very, it's a totally natural inclination for us to be that way. And,
Yeah.
so it's really just a return, it's a reminder. What will we be doing in the workshop? We'll be reminding people of what they already know, on some level. And then there's that added piece about somatic nuance and narrative nuance. And that's something that people may not have learned. So there is that added piece, but at the core of it, it's, it's what there is a lot of, at least memory of being open. And I think it feels great to be. I mean, it's like the adventurous spirit, and we can broaden that out a little bit more with this kind of facilitation.
Thank you for the book. Very generous.
Thank you.
See you in the workshop.